Hello farmers, welcome back to Selendra. And just as I was saying that, I noticed I got a floating tree up there. Gonna have to take care of that, because that's gonna look kind of weird if I start cutting down any more trees. Which I did in between episodes over here, and I was using the telehandler and kind of got into a little bit of a rhythm picking up the logs, trying to find the best way to pick them on up. But I wanted to get enough logs and wood over to the sawmill just to make sure that it can run all the way through until we harvest the oats, which we haven't even planted yet, which we're going to do here very shortly. Harvesting the oats should happen in July, which means I got to go about 4 months, 5,000 liters per month. I need about 20,000 liters, and I got that into the sawmill. I think I got up to about 21,000, yeah, 21,854. So we should be okay on the wood until we harvest the oats. And the reason why I say that is because, well, we do have crop destruction on, so going back and forth through the oat field trying to get logs out of there, not the most ideal situation. So with that going on, the next thing I need to do, like I said, plant the oats. Let's go get those into the ground so we can harvest that in July. So that's going to require the Fiat and, of course, the John Deere direct drill. That's right, I do got solid fertilizer here, so I can use some of that. That was in the spreader before we started spreading some lime. No, I don't want that on grass. I want that on oats. There we go. I got enough seed, I believe. Let's see how much this fills me on up. That filled me up pretty darn good. And then when I go to plant the sorghum in the month of April, we can stop at the store and top off the drill with seed and fertilizer then. But today, plant the oats, and then I think I am done for the month of March. We can skip on through to April. I'm not going to plant the sorghum in this episode. We'll probably cut some grass in one of the many fields that we have. Let's lower this on down here. Turn that on. And let's get the oats into the ground. That's right, before I actually advance through the month of March, I got to remember, we got to roll this field before before we advance, or we're just going to destroy all the crops when it comes time to rolling. Not going to take us too long to roll it, so maybe a couple minutes. But overall, with the telehandler and the log grab, it seemed to go okay once I got into a little bit of a rhythm. I think the best way to pick it up is when I take the log grab and I spin it 90 degrees so it's like facing directly towards the ground, and then I close the prong where I barely grab onto the log. Then what I do is I, of course, position the log grab facing directly up, and then release the prong so the log slides down into the grab, and then close the grab again. It's not the best way to do it. Well, it's the best way to do it. It's not the most convenient way to, bring logs to a sawmill. But I thought I'd give it a try again. I just remember way back in FS15 when logging became a thing. And it doesn't seem like it's gotten that much better with the log grabs. I know a lot of people have said throughout the years the best way to do the logs is actually with a manure the one you either pick up silage or manure with, the manure grab. That seems to work a lot better. If only the prongs of the grab would slide underneath the log instead of just pushing the log along, it'd be a little bit better, but, you just got to deal with what you got. So I made it work. We got enough logs into the mill, I believe, until we harvest these oats. And then I think I'll be back over here cutting down probably the rest of the trees going behind the sheep pen, because I don't believe our spruce trees that we planted by hand are going to be ready by then. From what a few people told me, it's probably not going to be until January or February of this upcoming season. Sometime around then. Gonna hit that tree. Couldn't turn fast enough. Someone did ask, how does my tractor turn white when driving in line before? and that is through the Real Dirt mod. So there are actually 4 pieces to that mod. What I'm going to try to do is put the mod link in the description below, and you can see the list of mods that I'm currently using on Hinterland. I'm trying to add the rest of the mods as well onto that list, but if you scroll on down, you'll find the Real Dirt mod, and there's like 4 different mods to that. So if I'm driving in grass, the tractor will turn a little bit of hint of green. In lime, will turn, as you can see, the tires are white. If we're just driving in dirt, it'll be a dirt color, so on and so forth. So, and also it adds the dirt coming off the tires like it does as well. One of those 4 mods does. And we should have enough fertilizer and seed to get this field done, I think. As for the animals, all the animals are doing just fine. But after we get done rolling this field and advance on to the month of April, we'll have a double check. I don't want to happen what happened during the winter months where they ran out of food. That's not good. Kind of slows down the production of things. Kind of looking forward to, well, it could be next month or into May when we sell the fabric. Definitely going to pay off a lot of the loan. Well, I say a lot of the loan. We're taking a lot of the money we have and paying it towards the loan. But it'll be at least $100,000 that we take off the loan. And then I may actually buy the wheat field that's right next to us right here and expand this field for oats. I'm still a little bit on the edge about, do we have enough fields to feed the animals that we currently have? And we're only going to get more because when the horses reproduce, which could be next month, and then we put down the horse training facility next year, instead of just having 6 horses, we could have, like 18 horses. We're just going to go through the feed a lot more. We're maxed out on sheep and chickens. The sheep I'm not worried about. We can, we got enough hay lying around, and we got a good amount of grass fields to create said hay. But another thing I don't want to do as well, I did think about it for a second. It's like, well, how about if I take 1 or 2 of the grass fields and make that into an oat field, a wheat field, sorghum field to help feed the animals? But the fields are not that big here, of course, so that would just add maybe like 3,000 to 5,000 liters more of a crop. And currently right now with the loan that we got, I kind of rather have the silage bales that we get off the field to be able to help pay off the loan as we go along. I think going through this season, seeing how much food we go through, can kind of determine maybe what I do next season. And so on and so forth. Not a great turning radius with the John Deere on the back of the Fiat. Looks like the rear wheel is kind of hitting the post beam for the drill itself. We did mulch this field last winter, so by the time we get done rolling it, the harvest on this field for this year should be at 100%. And maybe also with the sale of the fabric, before, in case I forget, not like you're going to be able to remind me when the time comes, but we'll also take some money from that and we'll fill up our trailer with seed and go take care of the greenhouses. Seed won't cost us that much, but making sure the greenhouses stay up and running is very key for us as well. Also got to remember that the log grab that I have for the telehandler is leased. And I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to try to use that for making firewood also, which we could be doing in the summertime just before harvest. So that'll be like maybe June, just before, a month before this crop is ready for harvest. We got plenty of trees around to cut. We can probably go maybe on the other side over by the sorghum fields and cut down some trees over there and try to make some firewood out of it. And as we know, as long as I get at least 2 trees cut up, I can get my money back on leasing the firewood splitter, because that was like $8,000 to lease. Now this drill is actually working out rather well for us. Don't think I'd want a smaller drill. Especially when it comes to doing all the sorghum fields next month. It's going to take a while. I am going through the fertilizer quicker than I thought I would. I may actually have to go get some. See if I can finish up this field the way it is. I think I get rather used to the precision farming and how low of a rate of fertilizer that we use there. I'm not using that much seed in the fields, but the fertilizer I'm going through quite a bit. Of course, when I leave the drill down, it's always using fertilizer, but not always using the seed. Alright, I think we got enough fertilizer to finish off this field. Got about 67 liters left. 600. If I had 600 liters, that'd be not a problem. I think that's more than what the drill actually holds. But to help myself out, I've been lifting up the drill going around corners. Which I should be doing anyways if we want to do it more realistic. I think taking a 180-degree turn with a drill in the ground, probably not the best idea. I do want to see how well conditioned the field is next to us, the wheat field. Take a stroll in it. That field's not that expensive. And with wheat being in the ground, of course, that's something we can harvest this year. And it'll help towards feeding the chickens. Let's take a stroll on over. So already our yield bonus is 98% without rolling the field yet. So yeah, it should be at 100%. This field here, not too bad. I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce the owner's name of this field, but this field's already at 98%. I wonder what 2% it's missing. Either way, it's either the rolling or the mulching, and I can't do either one with a crop in it. How much is that field? Because I could probably have, might as well, if I'm going to do it, why not do it now if it's not, can't be that expensive, right? 12,000. Field owned by me. And it is interesting that I walk into the field and it doesn't say, needs rolling, needs, needed mulching. Either way, 98% is pretty darn good. And that still leaves us with $16,000 in the bank account. So that's pretty darn good. That'll help us feed the chickens, which will save on some sorghum for the horses. I'm going to switch this over to sorghum for when I start planting next month. There we go. Let's go ahead and just park up the drill in the middle of the yard. I don't actually have the weight on the front. And I'm trying to figure out, why did I take the weight off for? I don't remember. Oh, I may have brought the plow over. Oh yeah, we had the plow on the back, and we had the tree devourer on the front to take care of the trees to merge those two fields together on the other side, those two potato fields. That's why I took the plow off. Try to avoid some of these bumps here. Roll it on out. Roll it on out, he says, as he gets ready to roll the field. I think the first time I rolled the field on Elm Creek, I got nervous because I thought I was destroying the crop. I was like, oh no, I gotta roll the field before we seed it. And we'll probably keep on mulching in the winter months because it won't take us too... Oh, I gotta remember now, I gotta own that. I own that field, so I will destroy the crop if I go in there. We'll be mulching the fields with a John Deere mower slash mulcher. Just got to make sure I convert it over from a mower to a mulcher. And with that piece of equipment, it won't take us too long to get the jobs done. I do need to come on down here and get rid of the stumps. Just really hope that the spruce trees, the original one that we planted, are ready sometime this winter. Maybe I should have cut down these trees over here, but when we put down the horse training facility, this field won't be over this far. At least I don't think. I think we'll just eliminate the field coming over this far. We'll have the road coming up as it is, and kind of like where it merges through the field, right next to our cab right there. We'll shoot a road going across down into that little dip right there, and that's where the training facility will settle on in. Now, we already have an animal transport, but we're still going to have to buy a transporter for the trained horses. That's a special transporter that we have to buy because they're not going to be classified as horses. They're classified as trained horses, so we got to have a special little transporter for them. I think that's going to cost like 20 grand, something like that. So between the training facility and that, we need like 120 grand. But between our fabric and of course our planks and of course the eggs that we can sell in November, we have no problem coming up with that much money. And the other funny thing is, since I really threatened the Fiat for trading it in because it kept stalling and locking up on us, I think it's only done it once since then. So I don't know what makes it do that. Sometimes I've had nothing on the tractor, and it's only when I'm going from one direction to another. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's not like I'm just driving forward and all of a sudden the Fiat just stops, as if I'm going forward and stop, and when it stops to go backwards, that's when it just locks up. So this will be the first year that we get like 100% off of a field. That extra 2%, I think we got like 8,000 liters last year, so 2% more is like 160 liters. So, but it's 160 liters more. Yeah, that John Deere mower, I know a few people were recommending it for quite a while. I Did want to use the Vermeer mower, but that one just mows, it doesn't mulch. So getting a implement that is 2-in-1 saves us from having to buy a second implement that we, you know, can get by without. We can buy this one implement that does two things. And it was cheaper. Now, I did mention last episode that I have no plans for upgrading the spinnery. There's a slight chance that I might upgrade the spinnery, and that's only if the spinnery cannot keep up with the wool coming from the sheep. But I think the spinnery does keep up with the sheep wool. It might be very close. I would hate to have to spend... See, I've upgraded that 4 times, so that could be like 70... No, it's going to be more like probably upper 80s or lower $90,000 to upgrade that again. Have to see how it goes. I mean, if it's very even and not keeping up with the wool from the sheep, well, what I could do is... yeah, you forgot you're rolling that field. There goes some wheat. What we can do once in a while, be like every few years or so, is just sell 1 pallet of wool and we'd be fine. Or, occasionally, if I forget to feed the sheep, they won't produce any wool, and the spinnery will catch on up, so. And as for the sawmill, yeah, I don't see myself upgrading that, just because I don't want to see myself always focusing on the sawmill in this series. It's definitely good to have, because it's helping us, you know, repay off that loan and help us move along here in the farm. Plus, it gives us a lot of parking over there with all the bales and our trailers. Here in a second, we'll just get back on out, but I'm sure, because it was 98% before, it should be 100% yield on this field, which could be a first for me in Farming Simulator 22 without precision farming on. 100%. Everyone clap. Let's pull this on up so I don't accidentally roll a grass field or something. Yeah, once again, the first 2 cuts this year on grass are definitely going to be silage. And then when we get to the 3rd cut this year, we'll have a inventory stock check and see, do I need to make hay or just make 3 cycles of lovely, lovely silage. So when wintertime comes, of course, we can go ahead and make a lot of money there. I'm going to park this up for now. I mean, I will need it next month for the sorghum, and that was terrible backing in. And we'll get all set with the John Deere mower. And like I said, we're just going to double check on the productions and the animals. Not close enough. There we go. Do I have that on mulching or cutting? I'll better check in the morning. The store page, I don't know why I'm looking here. I wonder if that's our old tractor, the 700. Could be. Alright, yeah. Productions we'll take a quick look at, but those should be fine. Hide inactive. So we still got 5,000 liters of wool to get on through. Cotton is slowly going down, but we can always adjust that with our greenhouses here. And the greenhouses, yeah, we're getting... I know it's in the red. It may look kind of bad, but that's actually a lot of seed for these greenhouses. It doesn't go through it that much. And, of course, we know about the sawmill is doing just fine. And now we'll check on the animals. The sheep are doing fine with grass. Chickens are doing fine. And the horses are okay. But it'll be kind of interesting to see. They're at 90%. I think they're going to be at, what, 96% next month for reproduction? All right, let's sleep till 8 o'clock. And and see what the morning brings. For weather-wise, anyways. We were at what, 12,000? 13,000, somewhere around there. We're back up to 17,000. So yeah, we are making some lovely, lovely cash, which is good. Horses reproduction 99%. All right. So we don't have any additional horses here. And of course, the chickens are okay. The sheep, ooh, they need some food. I better go take care of that now, actually. We'll check the store page. Some interesting stuff in there I could have used, you know, way back when. A tedder would have been, you know, that is a bigger tedder, isn't it? I don't think I need one 9 meters wide, and everything else is definitely something we don't need. Where did I leave? Oh, the telehandler is going to be at the sawmill. Yep, my grass field is ready. I wonder if I can grab, because I just remember now, yeah, the log grab is on the telehandler. I wonder if I can grab a hay bale with that. Actually, I probably can because it does have pallet forks on it. I think I'll take one from here. Because I am here. Ooh, even though they're pallet forks, they're not going to go in like pallet forks do. Ooh, they don't. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do, because this is leased, and I have used it, and I got a good idea of what it does. I probably should return it. I think I probably paid an extra $200 to have that overnight. Let me go get the pallet forks, put those on, and we'll give the sheep some hay. Then we'll grab the Fiat and the John Deere. We're going to head over, drive past Earl and the livestock market. We'll cut that grass field. I don't see where our spruce trees have grown another level yet. But it is another month. Our oats have grown, of course. Looking nice already. And actually, while I'm over here, feeding the sheep, boy, they are producing more wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and I don't have any hay bales over here. I thought I still had one. Okay. Well, this is all going wrong trying to feed the sheep. Alright, so while I'm here, let's go ahead and grab a couple of these pallets. I'll bring them on over to the spinnery to get that processing going, if it ran out. So maybe some of the sheep that we had in here were young sheep, and as they, you know, mature, that's fine. It's only the first growth stage. You can't damage crops in the first growth stage. Yeah, so maybe when the sheep mature, they actually produce more wool. I never really pay that much attention. I just go over and like, oh, there's the wool. You grab it and deliver it. Yeah, so is the spinnery keeping up with the wool process? Yeah, so 33 liters left in the spinnery. So it's almost spot on. Although the sheep did produce like maybe 800 liters more wool than usual. I'm not going to complain on that. Watch out for that big bump right there. I think I have to buy this grass field I'm going through now. We don't own this grass field here. For me to be able to smooth out that road. Alright, at least we'll get a couple thousand liters in there. That'll keep it going for a few hours. You can see all the fabric piling on up. Could be selling the fabric this month or early next month. It always says May is the best month. I think last year I sold it in April. And let's grab one of these hay bales here. Kind of weird that the log grabber, which has like the same prongs on the bottom as the pallet fork does, they don't go into the hay, but these do. Oh well. Now I should mention, in case you're not watching the Hinterland series, I am using the same sheep pen, but for Hinterland I may have to edit the XML file for the feed trough because the animals are going to go through a lot more feed on that series because we are running the Maize Plus animal food add-on. So eventually this could hold, instead of 12,500 liters of wool, of feed, it may hold, I don't know, like 50,000 or something like that. So I may feed the sheep in the future for a full trough of 50,000 liters, and it could last them forever. And they took that whole thing, that whole hay bale. And I do have the grazing mod on here as well, so they should be feeding from their grass field. But since it's springtime, the grass probably hasn't grown enough for them to feed off of it. Alright, make our trips count. Let's go back. We'll drop another 2,000 liters of wool. And then we'll jump into the Fiat and go over and get at least the first grass field mowed. Then I'll probably mow these 2 other fields over by the farm in between episodes. And maybe windrow it on up, and that way we can start baling it up next, at the beginning of next episode. And then I gotta, of course, go plant the sorghum in the fields on the other side. Sooner I plant it, the sooner we can harvest it. I'm just hoping that we have enough feed for the horses to get on through. But looks like next month we'll have 6 more horses to feed. Alright, let me just do the stock check here. So fabric, the current price is $37.66. The best price we had last year was $38.69, and currently we could get $175,000 at that price if it reaches that price. So that is going to be very, very helpful. Jump over that. And I just want to come over here because I can't remember. I mean, I did mulch with this and I can't remember what's on here. John Deere, customize, and mulcher, no. So it should be on grass cutting. So we actually made money last month just from the selling of the strawberries, the wind turbine. So if we can pay off like $125,000 off the loan with the fabric and keep the other $50,000 for buying seed for the greenhouses or whatever, that'd be very helpful to the farm. Now I do want to buy the other field that's next to the wheat field that we just bought, but that currently I believe has sunflowers in it. So I am not interested in that field at all. Although, I mean, I could buy the field and tear it up and replant back into it. Because that's what I would have to do, because I'm not going to lease a header just for a little field of sunflowers. Hello, Earl. Let's not mow the grass at the beginning of the hill because the Fiat struggles a little bit just to get up without the implement being on, so. Yeah, I'm glad we got this mower just because it reduced. It used to take me with this the Pottinger. It used to take me to do all 3 fields like 35, 40 minutes. Now I get it done in like 15 to mow the grass. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, if I do the wood splitter, I might actually come over to this field and take care of some of the trees around here. Because when I do the headland, kind of the limbs of the trees do get in the way of me seeing where I'm going. And I still kind of wish the other mower I was testing that could do mulching as well. That mower had rollers on the back of it, which were an option. So I thought that would mow the grass and then roll the field at the same time. But it doesn't. I mean, it does roll the field, but it doesn't show it on the chart that the field was rolled. If that mod ever gets updated to where it does that, that would be kind of neat to have. Because you can mow a grass field and then you're rolling at the same time. You don't have to come back and roll it to get that second stage of fertilization on the field. You get it done in one pass. So with 6 more horses coming, I got a funny feeling that we're going to go through that feed in the silo pretty quick. The horses don't eat that much as it is, but it's double the amount of horses basically. And I don't want the value of the horses to go down, because the values of the horses are important for when you bring them to the training facility. The more they're worth when you bring them to the training facility, the more you can get out of them when they're trained. So you don't want to be bringing the young horses, the colts, to the training facility when they're only worth 200, because you're not going to get many liters out of them. That's the way it's kind of done. A trained horse will be measured in liters. So it's all done by the value of the horse that you bring. Well, that is the first grass field done. Seemed faster than the last time I did it with a mower. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with this section here, because if I come back with like a bale or something, yeah, the Fiat does not like going up that steep of a hill. I probably should go ahead and just maybe landscape that grass there, but we'll leave it there in case I ever decide to mow it. I'm going to go up and see that other field to see how much it is. I mean, I'm going to be selling that fabric either this month or next month, so I think it's like $10,000 for that sunflower field. I may go ahead and just buy it and I can replant in it. Can I go up this road and get there? I know it said maybe 10 or 12 episodes ago I don't want to buy every field on the map. And I'd rather not, but if I got to keep up with feeding these animals, it could be I may have to. And this field's actually in pretty good condition. 98% out of 100 as well. It does have stones in it, but I can get rid of those by editing this button here. 10,000. We now own this field as well. So now we're down to 6,600. But I was going to buy these 2 fields when I sold the fabric or the planks this year anyways. So now I can just, you know, the money's already spent, so now I can just take that money and pay up the loan a little bit more. But now I have the option of taking those sunflowers, and I have to convert this over to a mulcher. I'll mulch the sunflowers and then I'll replant. I think I want to plant something different other than sorghum everywhere and oats everywhere. Calendar. Not corn or sunflowers. I could put soybeans in. I can't do canola, but I could do soybeans. And that's pretty much it. And then this fall, after the harvest time, wait, when do you harvest soybeans on this map here? Okay, in October. So what I want to do is, after we finish harvesting the soybeans that we plant, I want to be able to put wheat. So I want to take that wheat field and that soybean field, merge those two together, make like a small wheat field. I think that's my plan right now. So I got to take care of that field also. So a lot of work here to do in April. Got to take care of these grass fields here, get it windrowed. baled on up. That's kind of important because that definitely helps pay the bills. And then, yeah, we got to take care of that. Definitely got to take care of that soybean field. That's what I'll call it now. So after I cut the grass, I will convert the mower to a mulcher and mulch up those soybeans. And then slowly but surely we'll start planting some more, which will be just fine. Yeah, so even though you guys are at 99%, we won't see the horses until tomorrow. I'll just clean them all because I think they're at they're always at 90%. I don't know how horse helper actually works. I mean, they are training the horses or riding them. They just don't seem to clean them up to 100%. I don't know if that ups the value of the horses or not. So health is 100%, reproduction 99%, cleanliness, fitness, all at 100%. And I'm guessing now that they're 100% clean, their value might be 4,500, and that might be maxed out. I have no idea. But sooner or later, you guys will be brought over to the training facility, and they'll do what they have to do, but it won't be released until you guys cycle through another set of offspring. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching, as always. I'll catch you right here in Selendra again, but until then, have a good one.